Welcome to the Daily for Wednesday, February 16th with Jonah Friedman. I'm Jason Seguini. Biggest news this morning has to be Charlie Davies will be with DC United for the 2011 season.
Yeah, the deal is finally done. We get to see Charlie Davies back in action on U.S. soil. Hopefully, we're all hoping we see him back to being the same player he was a couple of years ago. As the most exciting team to me in the national team pool. And he gets to work with Ben Olsen, a guy he knows very well. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, does this make DC United one of the teams to beat in the East now?
I don't know if they're one of the teams to beat. I mean, you have to remember they had a lot of injury problems last year. That definitely contributed to that finish. But they're definitely one of the more exciting teams now. They're younger, they're more dynamic, they're quicker. For me, they're a team to watch.
Well, yesterday another national team forward was in the news, and that's Sporting KC's Teal Bunbury, who went down with an arm injury. Turns out it's a dislocated elbow, which is actually the best case scenario.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's just a dislocation. It's not a break. So that means he's out for a matter of weeks and not months. Really good news for Kansas City fans.
Well, in that game, I was at the game, and Houston beat Kansas City 3-1. For me, the takeaway was Will Bruin played fantastic for Houston. Dominic Kinnear had to like what he sees. Will Bruin gets typecast, I think, as a big banger in the box, and he definitely can do that, but he showed he's very athletic as well. He drew a penalty. He did well for Houston. Again, I think Kinnear has to be happy with what he's getting out of his first-round draft pick. Jonah, you were down in Casa Grande, though.
Yeah, I saw Real Salt Lake beat Chivas USA 2-0. It's Real Salt Lake's final game before their Champions League quarterfinal match against Columbus next week. And to me, the most exciting player on the field was Paulo Jr., who came to Salt Lake last season from the second division. He was involved on pretty much every single offensive play. He was creative and nearly scored a goal for himself. And the early indications we're getting out of Salt Lake camp is that Paulo Jr. could get that start next to Alvaro Saborio next week against Columbus.
All right, well, the live chats continue today from the LA Galaxy Colorado game at Arizona State. If you were in the chat yesterday, you were the first to find out about the Bunbury injury. This game is at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Again, our first chance to see the LA Galaxy live this preseason. Moving on to some news from yesterday, U.S. national teamer Heath Pearce goes from FC Dallas to Chivas USA.
Yeah, we actually found this out during the game against Real Salt Lake as the game was going on. We found out from Robin Fraser afterwards that he's actually been admiring Pearce from afar over the last 2 or 3 seasons, and that's high praise from a guy like Fraser who had such a great career as a defender. And I would have to think that Pearce comes in and slots into that back line immediately.
Another defender that finds a home is Corey Veeder, the U.S. national teamer, U20 national teamer, ends up in Columbus.
Yeah, maybe not an immediate contributor, but it's another good sign that Columbus is trying to build for the future, so he's one to keep an eye on.
All right, we expect at least one more trade to be announced today between 2 Western Conference teams, so stay tuned to MLSsoccer.com for that. We'll be back on the Daily tomorrow.